We keep mentioning about the liquidity. Can we provide more context about, like what this means, the problems around it, and then how is RWAs solving that? I think Kosi, you might have some thoughts to share.
Yeah, of course. So I guess with for a what is tokenization? First of all, I think a lot of people we talk about the real world assets. I think tokenization, you have to be able to authenticate. You want to be able to check the provenance. You want to be able to split into multiple, bits and pieces, and then the trade comes at the end. So once you got that, at the moment, like as Eric said, with the I'll pick carbon credits, for example, and they are so disintegrated, and
Mhm.
it's a huge thing that the same carbon credit being sold multiple times, right? And there's so much, and the auditors themselves can't keep up. Now, putting that onto the blockchain with those four categories, which I can authenticate and provenance and fractionalization and the trade part, that what give the transparency, the verifiability with anything. Now you got two types of assets. You have the conventional types. You got the alternative, right? So the conventional, you got the money, the bonds, and the stocks, and you got the alternative, which is art and carbon credits, and I mean, like the list goes on. So looking at that, the liquidity is the ability for, I would say, for people to trade as many assets as possible, the speed as well without any intermediate, as Eric mentioned as well. I think that creates the speed to market, and don't have to wait until the weekends or the markets to open to close
Mm.
of like forex only 5 days, so certain those things will definitely won't be an issue. So I think that's why it would create more liquidity, more access to these assets, would create more trade. So that's what I believe.
I do have a point on that. I think we need to kind of dissect liquidity. Liquidity from pre-launch or capital raising is very different to secondary liquidity, right? Or secondary market post execution. I think we can solve for the former. I think the latter, i.e., distribution and getting that secondary trading and the asset value or NAV, is going to be a bigger challenge. That requires platforms to come in, talk to each other, have price discovery mechanism, making sure the spreads or bid offers tight, so it allows people to kind of trade. And that's going to be a full ecosystem play, educating the end consumer. And it could be B2B, it could be B2B2C or B2C directly, or consumer to consumer as well, right? So the secondary market liquidity is going to be a challenge, and that cannot be solved for day one. It will be an evolution.
Mm.
So I don't want to confuse liquidity. Like, they're two separate things, right? Pre-market liquidity and post-trade liquidity are two different things.